Happy Monday. Just out and about, gotta run some errands, headed to the store to get myself some vegetables, micronutrients. I'm gonna try and load up a little bit more on vegetables this week. Had my rest day yesterday. Rested my back because I tweaked it a little on Saturday. So gonna go after legs today, and then hopefully I can get in a nice little ride after my leg workout, maybe a half an hour of riding. And then most likely if I work hard enough, then I'll have earned a rest day again tomorrow. So we'll see, maybe active rest tomorrow. Go for like a nice little hike or something like that. I gotta start back on research tomorrow, so it is what it is. So I was looking at this book, The No Breakfast Plan and Fasting Cure by Edward Hooker Dewey. And this is a book that was published in the early 1900s. Like, I believe it was published in the year 1900. And basically, to make a long story short, the good doctor talks about how he used fasting to cure a lot of diseases that people were getting during that time. And what he was basically saying was that the people were not giving their gut enough time to heal in between meals, or cleanse itself in between meals, because we're constantly eating these meals, we're constantly going after, food and trying to eat, throughout the day, several times a day. And what he was saying is that this causes a bunch of diseases. It makes you sick because you're not allowing your body the time to focus its energy on recovery and healing. Instead it's focusing on using its energy to digest all this food. So what I was thinking, looking at the intermittent fasting thing and all this stuff, first of all, I fell on this through research. Like I tell everyone that they should always do, research their own, ideas, and look for what works for them. Because last year, I'm not gonna go into any details, but I was talking to some people about skipping breakfast, and they, you need breakfast. Breakfast is the most important meal of the day, and all this other stuff. Well, first of all, they're not doctors. They don't really know. These people weren't in the best condition. And so, you can't really listen to what people say. At the fire truck here, you can't really listen to what people say, because first of all, number one is, if they're not a doctor and they're not a scientist, they don't know anything. They're just going off of what they heard. And then number two, you should always look at what, physique, or, if this person is achieved in the area that you're achieved in. Also, the big one is you need to look you need to pay attention if they're endomorph or not, okay? Because I'm gonna tell you from personal experience, endomorphs eat big. So for me, it's silly to either eat dinner or breakfast. It could be either one. There was a time when I used intermittent fasting and I didn't eat dinner, and I had a lot of success. I lost like 50-60 pounds on that method, but I gained a lot of it back because that method wasn't sustainable long term. And then I moved to where I don't eat the breakfast, and I was successful with that as well. So you have to find what works for you. But I'm going to tell you one thing. As an endomorph, from my personal experience, I'm not going to tell you what to do, but from my personal experience, shortening that eating window and disciplining myself to eat the calories that I had and the carbohydrates that I had available to me in that period of time worked better for me, rather than just getting up in the morning and starting to swallow calories and and just run amok by midday, because your mood changes, all these things. You may want to eat big, and there's days where I do want to eat big, and you know what, by fasting, I may not want to do it, but if I know that I want to eat big that day, I may fast till 3-4 o'clock in the afternoon, and that's on top of a workout, riding, and all that. I'll just drink my coffee, drink my seltzer water, drink regular water and just fill up on fluids all day. Maybe if I'm that hungry, then I'll start like hacking up some apples, because the density per gram, the calorie there is, if you measure it in grams, the apple, right, versus a banana. I've talked about this before. An apple has less calories per gram than a banana does. So you can eat apples all day long. And I'm not saying that they're not, they're not calorie, you can't gain weight eating apples or anything like that, but it's pretty tough, because the calories per gram of apple is like half of what the gram is. So like, you look at 1 gram, right? The apple calories are like 0.4, calories per gram. So no, that's pretty crazy. So, or 0.4 of that gram, okay? So I don't want to get anyone confused or anything like that, but so you can hack up some apples and eat those throughout the day. And apples are filling, plus they have pyruvate in them, which makes your body work extra hard. Your body has to work really hard to metabolize pyruvate. I read about this years ago. So looking at that, you can walk into the afternoon time, let's just say you stop eating at 7, or I stop eating at 6 every night, but let's just say you fast till 3, okay? I have 2,400 calories that I can eat in a 3-hour window. So I can go pretty much crazy if I want to. I mean, I gotta watch the carbs and everything like that. I mean, if I worked out that day, I'm carb backloading, so those nutrients are gonna go in the right direction as far as going directly to the muscle. These are all things I had to learn about my own body. But looking at that, intermittent fasting is the way to go, especially for an endomorph. Like I said, if you're the type of person that wants to eat big, you need to check out this book, No Breakfast Plan and The Fasting Cure by Edward Hooker Dewey. Check out that book, read that book. It's kind of a dry read, but the terminology will speak to you if you're trying to cut fat, especially if you're into this whole like thing that I've been into, which metabolic damage. I tend to not have regular bowel movements all the time, no matter what I do. I don't know if it's just like a genetic thing, or I've talked to my doctor about it. She doesn't think it's really a problem. But I don't have bowel movements very often. My body will metabolize through food, because I watch the amount of weight that I eat in food, and my body will be burning through these calories. Another thing is I don't really eat poor, I guess. I eat mainly fruits and vegetables raw. So I mean, I guess you're urinating a lot of that out too. But even the solid foods I eat, I guess if you're having like some whole wheat bread every now and again, because that's usually my only carb sources, usually besides fruit and vegetables, are whole wheat bread or corn tortillas, which I guess those don't have much volume to them at the end of the day. It's not like I overindulge or go crazy or anything like that in those. But sorry, I'm all over the place. Check out the book. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm trying to get this thing rolling. I'm trying to help you guys more. I'm gonna be researching more. I'm gonna be reading more. That's all I can really do is help from a position of experience. I'm not a scientist. I'm not a personal trainer. I'm just a guy who's lost some fat over the years since childhood, that wants to give people some information that can help them reach the successes that I've reached. I've lost over 100 pounds on 2 occasions. I've lost over 50 pounds on 2 occasions. And I'm just like you. I'm trying to figure out this whole like sustainability thing. I just put back on 25, but I bulked because I wanted to gain muscle, because I was looking really flat and everything like that. So don't think this is the physique that I want right now. I'm not, I'm bulking right now. And actually I don't know. I'm up in the air. I don't know if I feel strong enough yet. I don't know. I'm like I said, you got to go research this stuff on your own. I can't tell you everything to do. You have to find your way. Just like I'm up in the air, that's how a lot of people are that even have great physiques. They had to go through thick and thin to get there. Happy Monday.